Hello everyone, good morning, welcome back to the Hearthstone ladder. My name is Rooster and we are playing Mage today. So this was a deck I've had in the pipelines for actually quite a bit. I'm wanting to keep kind of a balance between the classes I play for the YouTube series, of course, but that can be a little rough if there's like 8 viable warrior decks and only 2 viable mage decks. So Freeze Mage has been one of my plans for quite a bit. So I was playing some Freeze Mage yesterday, and my opponents were just the worst. I've played approximately 10 games, and 6 of those were control warriors. And as you might very well be aware, if there's one deck that this deck can't possibly beat, it's Control Warrior.
Hello.
So that was pretty great. I was getting pretty salty near the end of that. So I didn't think there was anything worth boasting in there. I am hoping that we have a bit of a more friendly environment right now, and basically the only thing that this deck has does not have a decent chance against is actually Control Warrior. So so that's perfectly okay as long as it's not half of the decks you're actually facing. I'm considering Acolyte here, I'm considering Doomsayer here, which means she needs either Kill Command or Quick Shot in those 4 cards. I don't feel too horrible about it, and it will save some face damage. Probably means, yeah, it's fine. I don't expect to be able to do it later, although I could combine it with a Blizzard. That might be a little optimistic though. So as long as one of those 4 cards is not... Okay, that's excellent. That's excellent. So just the hero power in that case. And we can start building up here. I think I'll play the Acolyte here, because there might be some small minions coming out. And I would like to be able to draw some cards. It's also an efficient use of mana, so that's pretty good. Taking a decent amount of damage here, of course. Hunters are a bad matchup, but it's definitely winnable still. And we can't say that for all of our opponents. Let's see. I think we forced the trade for her, actually. If we play a Loot Hoarder and coin an Ice Barrier, that doesn't sound quite right. But I like playing the Loot Hoarder here and just going face because... yeah, I think I like it. Is that worth the coin? It probably is. I need to do something constructive with the remainder of my mana, and alternatively I could just go for the trade right here. The extra damage isn't really worth that much. I think I'll take it, sure. Let's see what we draw here. The coin might be more important later. If I had something better to do with 2 mana right now, then I definitely would have considered that. But it just feels too bad. So yeah, Hunter can be trouble. But we are building up a nice hand over here. We have plenty of stuff to do, plenty of interaction. I'm not sure how good we are against... Whoa. Whoa. Are you sure about that? Does she think she can kill me without playing any minions? I don't think that's particularly likely. But I think I'll develop the Ice Barrier just in case. I kind of want to draw some cards though, so I will coin out the Ice Barrier, I think. Can she kill me this turn? I don't know about that. I really don't know about that. I would have liked to coin out the Alexstrasza, but I feel like if I don't barrier here... Well, what do I die to? I die to a Huffer Kill Command doesn't kill me. No, I probably shouldn't have varied here. That is probably wrong. Do I Fireball that? I think I do. I'm going to be hard-pressed to deal with that otherwise. And I can... Yeah, sure, I will fireball that. Let's draw a card and see what we get from there. Do we want to ping that down over 2 turns or develop the Thelnos? I don't like the Thelnos right now. I don't like dying to... Well, we still have the ice barrier, so it's not as bad as it seems. What do we do next turn? Flame Strike, probably. Let's just ping face in that case. We either Flame Strike or Blizzard next turn, so I don't have to kill that right now. Actually, we could have gone face with the Loot Hoarder, but that might be a little greedy. I'm liking a Flame Strike if a Huntmaster comes up here. Ooh, another Huntmaster even. Well, that's what the Flame Strikes are for. So that is actually a perfectly acceptable Flame Strike here. We may have to Alexstrasza our own face at some point, but that's probably okay. Yeah, a little worried about the Call the Wild coming out here, but that will just cost me 5 damage and then I can Blizzard afterwards. We can probably make that work still. So Hunter is an unfavorable matchup, but it's still positive overall. Well, it's not a positive win rate, but what am I trying to say here? I don't even know. Do we want to develop the Ice Block? I think we do. So let's draw a card, Frost Nova, and Ice Block. And then we can Blizzard next turn. I think I like that. Sure. I'm not quite sure how we're killing the Hunter though. Because once we're down to a really low life total, then we might very well be in trouble. That's okay. We've got 2 more freezes, so that's kind of okay. We're getting dangerously low though, so that's kind of a concern. Let me think here. Blizzard kills pretty much everything, so I think we trade in the Novice Engineer into the big guy over here. So we can possibly ping that down later. Go for the Acolyte to draw into more burn. We can win here, but it'll be troublesome. It'll definitely be troublesome. Could another Call the Wild? Could not break the block, at least. Would have to be a Call the Wild. No, even Call the Wild plus Quick Shots doesn't do the trick, so that's good.
It's getting hot in here.
Ooh, I would like an extra card. Thank you. Thank you. Slowly burning me down, though. I don't like that. Second Ice Block, that's good news. I think we have to Blizzard again, though. Because that would likely mean that I can preserve my block for another turn, and that means I can Novice Engineer to draw.
You like my invention?
Possibly trade this one in. And then I'm not sure what comes after that, though. Because we haven't dealt a lot of incidental damage, so there's still a lot to do. We can make some trades next turn though, so that's kind of good. I don't need to Frostbolt anything, I think, so let's just trade this one. That's a good draw. I'm not sure if it's live. As you may have noticed, that this deck contains a Reno for healing. And in situations like this, it might be a pretty good card. We haven't drawn our... That's pretty crazy. We have not drawn our duplicates yet. Is that a quick kill command? I don't know about that. Okay, that could save us for another turn. Yeah, Reno isn't live yet, and I think it's the Icelands that we still need. So we could go for Emperor and Mirror Image, which I think I like. We can also ping down that one. I think I like that idea. We're not dying anytime soon, so that's pretty good. Sure. Oh, where we do get popped by the hero power, of course. So we are going to need to Alexstrasza our own face, or play Reno if we top deck an Icelands. I think that's the only one. We played a Doomsayer, we have a Frostbolt in hand. We played both Novice Engineers, both Acolytes. definitely an Arcane Intellect, a Frost Nova, an Ice Block, a Fireball, a Blizzard. So not yet. So we're going to need to Alexstrasza our own face here, but that's okay. And we can finish up from here, I think. I'm not sure what she was trying to achieve by deadly shotting that Novice Engineer, though. That seems kind of awful. We're not protected here, but I am feeling pretty good about myself. Could we actually have... Yeah, but playing the Ice Block there would not have saved us for too long. And if I'm worried about getting bursted down from 15, then we might as well get burned down from 15 afterwards. So basically the only reason to do that... Oh, that's brave. Turned out to be pretty good for her, though. Another Camel. Okay, that's fine, that's fine. What can we do here? We've got 9 damage in hand, 5 on the table. So that's 9 and 5 equals 14, equals 17, equals... we can do some stuff with Archmage, I guess. Oh, we can definitely just Archmage. Frost Nova, and then it's pretty much game over, right? We can just Ice Block. Frost Nova. Frostbolt face. Fireball face, and that should be game next turn. There's nothing she can do. Like, literally nothing. Literally nothing. Yeah, okay. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that play. Sure. We didn't even need a Reno there, but in situations like this, Reno can definitely shine, and we could see that if we had drawn our... what's it called again? Our Ice Lens there, then it would have been a pretty good card. So I guess it's for the Hunter matchup. We did draw a lot of cards. Basically, we were down to the last 5 cards in our deck, and it's not that likely that those 5 cards contain a duplicate. But this deck definitely runs a lot of duplicates. That's why I call it duplicates. So Reno isn't always going to work, but it's basically the slower mid-rangey decks where Reno can come in handy. Because as you may have seen, this deck does draw a lot of cards. Against the Warrior, I don't think I want Mirror Image. I don't think I want Frostbolt either. Actually, against the Dragon Warrior, I really do want a Frostbolt, so I guess it's still fine. Novice Engineer is worth keeping, I think, just because it cycles and it gives us something to do in the early game, which we don't always have. I guess it's kind of mutually exclusive with the Frostbolt, but it's not guaranteed that the Frostbolt happens. So a Pirate Warrior, that's definitely a winnable matchup here. We could... I really don't want to give him a Pirate for the Bloodseal thingamajig. Yeah, just a free weapon upgrade is not what you're looking to give those decks. So I think getting rid of the Pirate in favor of playing the Engineer is the correct play. It's actually not a Pirate deck, it's a Dragon deck, which happens to run a N'Zoth's first mate, and that's fine, that's fine. We're taking a little bit of damage here, but that's to be expected in the early game, and I think we can definitely recover from this. Do we want to Frostbolt that guy right now? I think we actually do. That is very aggressive though, I'm not sure. Might still be a Pirate deck that just happens to run a couple of dragons for Alexstrasza's champion, I'm not sure. If the upgrade comes down right now, then that's, I guess, kind of fine. That's an annoying card though. I kind of want a Frost Nova right now. Well, perhaps not right now, but it will be good in the coming few turns, I think. So let's go for the Novice Engineer here and just ping one of them down. We do need to draw a couple of cards at the very least. So taking 5 here. Yeah, we're dying reasonably quickly, which is something to be concerned about. That was definitely a reasonable start for him. But we can recover from that. As long as we reach our next turn, so we can blizzard, and then I think we can recover from that position. Do we want to frostbolt this? I think we do. It's a matter of surviving right now, I think. We can't get rid of the fairy dragon. That's reasonably annoying. In that case, I kind of want to develop the acolyte here. Do we die if we... I don't think there's a lot of situations in which we die here, so I guess that's okay. We can trade. That's probably the correct... I don't know. He just wants to get us as low as possible. Blizzard here does not feel necessary. It's a little dangerous, but what else can we do here? We can mirror image, hero power... I kind of want to draw some cards, so I guess that's kind of okay. Saves us a little bit of time, and we can blizzard a lot of extra minions next turn. I think I like that approach. So we get to draw a card here, and we get to develop the ice block, which means that we don't die next turn, which is really good. I like not dying next turn. And after we blizzard, we can still trade the acolyte in, so that's reasonable. Taking a little bit of face damage here. I'm expecting, but that's fine. We're getting to draw some cards with the acolyte, so I'm liking that. Reno might be pretty... Ooh, is that double heroic strike? No, it's not. Okay, so we get popped by the Fiery War Axe next turn. How are we in the Reno situation? We're definitely not there yet. So we are getting popped next turn. Let's draw a card and see how far we go. We got the Frostbolt. I haven't seen a Doomsayer yet. So there's something. Well, if we're getting popped, then I don't need to Blizzard right now, right? So in that case, I could just develop... Yeah, Frost Nova doesn't do anything here. Well, I could make him commit the weapon at the very least. That's something, right? Is that worth it, though? I don't know about that. I don't know whether that's worth it. Well, if that's true, then the Archmage doesn't die or the Emperor doesn't die. Is that worth it, though? So I could make him use the weapon here, and I think that's the better approach. We've basically got nothing to do next turn now. Let's use the Emperor and hope we get something decent next turn. So if he wants to kill the Emperor, the rope is kind of broken, I think. There's something wrong with the rope. I'm not sure what. So if he wants to kill the Emperor, then he has to use the axe, I think. And that gives us a little bit of time. Ah, yeah, so there's the dragon. That's a really aggressive version of Dragon Warrior. That's interesting. Yeah, so we had to use the weapon there. We're not safe, but we have some time, and time is what we need right now. If he has a weapon, then we're kind of screwed, but not much we can do about that. Are we taking the risk that he doesn't have a weapon and just committing the Archmage here? Or do we want to play it... Well, we can survive if... Yeah, we can ice block. And then do that next turn. If we ice block here, then our only out is gone, though. I think we have to bet on him not having a weapon. That's kind of risky, though. No weapon, no charger. I think we're dead, but... yeah, I would need an Iceland to freeze his face here. Yeah, Mortal Strike. And the charger in that case, double Mortal Strike. Oh my. Yeah, that's a rough one. That's a lot of pressure, and yeah, Reno didn't really do a whole lot here, but that's to be expected. We were quite a ways off, I think. Actually, only the Icelands. Oh, Icelands and Doomsayer, actually. Yeah. We got off to a pretty good start, and weapons can be rough if you're getting low already. But with double Mortal Strike, I don't think we were going to win that game at any rate, except if we got a Reno off. So we could have ice blocked there, but I don't think the situation would have improved noticeably, because we couldn't do a whole lot along with the ice block. So that's kind of a problem.
Begin.
You asked for it.
Another hunter. I'm not sure about that one. We've got some early stuff to do, and I think that's okay. We can try and fish for a Doomsayer, but that feels kind of bad. I'm throwing away the Arcane Intellect because we've already got a lot of early stuff to do. And Arcane Intellect is not really what you're trying to do against a hunter. Some card draw in the form of these cards is going to be a lot better.
Hello.
So, some rough matchups today. Definitely not the easiest ones, but if the hunter does not have a 1-drop, then that's good news for us. And it's not like the first hunter was all that impressive in the first place, so I guess that's kind of okay. Could go for the Acolyte here, could go for the Ice Barrier, but when am I playing the Acolyte in that case? I think going for Acolyte right now is actually fine. He'll slam the frog in, but that lets us pick off the frog with a hero power or the 1/1 if we draw something useful. So that's fine. Animal Companion, not the greatest. We're taking some damage, but we can get rid of that. So that's pretty much okay, and that's a good draw. So we might actually see a Reno at this point. Yeah, going for the Huffer right now, taking a little bit of damage, but that's okay.
I hope you like my invention.
Let's see what we draw. If I draw a Frostbolt, I will use it, but for now, let's go for this one. Could run into a Houndmaster here. That would be a little awkward, I guess. I may actually have to fireball it if a Houndmaster comes down right now. That would be really awkward, I guess. Don't like that. So we've got some interaction. We don't have our board wipes, which is troublesome. We only got to draw 1 card off our Acolyte. Maybe I should have been more careful with that, but if you're being too greedy with your Acolyte, then you're sacrificing tempo again. And just barely keeping up with your opponent is advisable, I think. So probably going for another hero power next turn, along with the Ice Barrier. That's not awful. Double Ice Lance might come in handy later. Don't need to worry too much. So I think I'll trade in...
You're sure?
I think I'll trade it in and just aim to hero power down the other one next turn also. They're kind of inflicting more damage than they should, but I'm feeling like I'm just barely lagging behind 1 turn. If I had a Frostbolt instead of one of the Ice Lances, then things would have been fine. But actually, my health total isn't as terrible as to be really worried about that right now. And with the right draws, Reno might also do some work, so that would be pretty sweet. What can we do here? He did not attack with the weapon, that's actually pretty curious. If we get an Emperor on this hand, would that be good enough? I think it's pretty meaningful. It does mean we're not getting rid of the frog, though, which is kind of a problem. We're not really doing anything if we're getting rid of the frog. So I guess Emperor is fine. Just getting a little bit of tempo out of the Emperor is good, and he might be convinced to either waste the kill command here or trade his minion and the bow charge in, which would be preferable here. His hand must be really clunky though. Expecting double Call the Wild here.
I wonder.
Because he's not really doing a whole lot, and that is concerning. So this Reno may have to do some work, and that is trouble. Because getting Reno to do to do some work hasn't been too successful so far, unfortunately. So we could go for hero power, ice block, something. Not really anything. That's kind of too bad. Not much we can do about that, though. Are we dead next turn, too? Not entirely. Could go for tempo Reno here, but that sounds really off. I don't think we can do that. We could go for the Forgotten Torch face, but that doesn't seem like a great plan either. So we don't die to anything right now. And I don't think Forgotten Torch face is going to save us. No, I think I may actually need the Forgotten Torch to burn down some kind of minion that comes out this turn, perhaps next turn. We'll have to see. Last turn for him was the kill command. Okay, Call the Wild, and then the turn after another Call the Wild. So he's dealing 8 here. Does not attack with the bow. That's actually curious. I don't know whether that's correct. I can actually play Archmage plus Frost Nova here, which seems reasonable. Mostly just because it forces an answer. And I'm going to cast the Frost Nova anyway, so the most likely spell that I'm casting along with the Frost Nova is the Archmage. Could have gone for the double Ice Lance, I'm not sure about that. Should I have traded in my Ice Lances? I don't think I want to trade in my Ice Lances for Fireballs right now, though. I may actually need to burst him down in one turn. Is he breaking here? He is actually breaking with the bow. That is trouble. So we're going to need a Reno pretty soon. So what we need is a Doomsayer and a Blizzard. I'm pretty sure that's the 2 cards we need right now. And that's really annoying because we need it really quickly. Yeah, nothing we can do about that though. So we're going to need to Ice Block again. If we can get an Ice Barrier off, then we could... No, Ice Barrier no longer works because we're down to Hero Power range. So he breaks again, and then we're going to need... Well, at least we got the Blizzard, so that's something. We're going to need a lot, though. I don't think we're in a good shape this game. Definitely not. Arcane Intellect. Oh, that's another card we needed. So that's kind of good. If we draw... These cards don't save us. Nothing we have does anything here, right? No.
Well played.
That's too bad. That is too bad. I get the feeling that this deck might be just a little bit too greedy right now. Because I do think this is the kind of situation in which Reno should be the card you're looking for. But it's just not doing what it's supposed to be doing. Maybe maybe I should have tried and milked more cards out of my Acolyte though. Maybe that's the trick that would have won me that game. If I could have drawn 2 more cards, then there would have been a reasonable chance for me to have my final card that I needed. I'm pretty sure I only needed 1 more, and that's a Doomsayer, right? Okay, so against the Druid. I think I want none of these cards, but that probably means I should be keeping the Arcane Intellect, just to have something to do on turn 3, right? I do need some kind of cycle, because we need to get to the end of the deck, and we're not getting there by doing nothing. So while that may look kind of bad, and it probably actually is, I think that's the right call. Druid should be good. I think Druid should be good. As you can probably see, I'm not a really experienced Freeze Mage player, but I did have some practice last night. And I was actually winning most of the non-Control Warrior games, but... yeah, it's just... Those games are just instant concedes, and that's really frustrating. It makes for a really poor video, in my opinion, so... you're not really looking for that. And I am happy for the lack of Control Warrior. And I hope we're showing here that that most games that are not Control Warrior are actually winnable. Because I think even the Hunter games were actually pretty reasonable. Would like... Yeah, I have to coin something out here. I've got so much card draw and so little time to do it in, so I think I'm going for the Acolyte here.
Hey, speak to me.
Just because with the current board there is a chance that it'll draw more than one card. Probably not. Oh, that's a slow start from the Druid. I wonder what kind of Druid we're up against. That is actually curious. There's Reno again. Okay, and we're drawing into the rest of our deck. So this is actually a pretty good opener against an opponent that's not doing a whole lot at the start of the game. So that's good for us. He is ramping with that one, alright. Do we want to kill that? Or do we just want to draw some cards? I can pick my Acolyte and Frostbolt that. How's that? I don't like using a Frostbolt here, but... let's actually just draw a card. We don't have to use anything here. I kinda do want to Frostbolt that though. Just because it's an efficient use of mana, it saves some room for the rest of the card draw in our hand. I think that's fine. We're drawing a lot of cards, so we should be headed into the Blizzard / Frost Nova territory pretty soon. It does eliminate some burst from our hand, which is kind of troublesome, because that means the Ice Lance is dead until we draw the second Frostbolt. And that is actually not what you're looking for. Are we trading this one? I could actually just Arcane Intellect and Doomsayer. It would bring me down to 9. That would probably overdraw me though.
I wonder.
Let's actually go for Ice Barrier. Can we Hero Power here? It seems really greedy, and we're left with all this card draw in hand, but we're not really doing anything with it. I actually don't mind Doomsayering here, and even if it dies, that's okay with me. He might be tempted to let the Acolyte die. Maybe I probably shouldn't have used the Doomsayer so willy-nilly, because I can use that in conjunction with the Frost Nova, which is actually very effective against the Druid. So, if he's killing it like this, then that's actually fine with me.
The land serves me.
Ramping again? Or making a 2/2, alright. That means he's not killing the Acolyte, so that's reasonable, I think. And this is a pretty good Blizzard, so I don't mind too much. Alternatively, we could go for the Frost Nova plus Arcane Intellect, which is also not awful. Frost Nova Intellect would mean we get to Blizzard next turn. Is that better? I don't know if Blizzard next turn... Blizzard next turn is actually a little more awkward. So I guess it's Blizzard here. Do we want to draw a card with this right now? We don't necessarily need to. I would like to save the 1 damage to see if we need it against the next minion he's playing. If there's something with 5 health coming, for example, then I might wish to trade it in, so the 5 health minion gets killed by Flame Strike. That seems reasonable, right? So pops the Ice Barrier. We are going to need to deal with those minions, or perhaps just Frost Nova. I guess that also works. Health is in a pretty good spot, so I'm not too upset about that. Could go for a Frost Nova here and then Flame Strike next turn. Flame Strike next turn seems a little weak. If we Frost Nova here, what do we do? I guess it's Arcane Intellect. That's probably okay. Pretty much committing to them. Ooh. I could also just take some damage this turn. How about that? How about that? I want to save the Frost Nova for the Doomsayer now. But I don't want to overdraw with the Acolyte. It's probably okay. I've got 9 cards in hand right now, right? So he's going to be hard-pressed to make me overdraw, and if he really wants to do that, then he probably can. I don't mind skipping the turn here. He's going to kill the Acolyte, I'm going to overdraw one card. Is that okay? That's okay. I think I have most of the important cards in my hand right now. I've got the Alexstrasza. I could burn an Ice Block, I guess, which would be kind of awkward. Yeah, that would be kind of awkward, I will admit. I've got a pretty good Flame Strike coming up next turn, and I don't think he will even trade into the Acolyte right now. Because that would allow me... yeah, so that's reasonable. Downside here, of course, is that the Doom... I'll have to clear this board twice. Is that okay? He'll just have a couple of 2/2s on the board. That's probably fine. I can Frost Nova here, though. Do I want to Frost Nova Doomsayer?
What to do?
It spends more cards, which is kind of good, and it also lets me develop the Ice Block. I think I like that approach over the Flame Strike, because the Flame Strike means I basically do nothing this turn, and I don't like that. So sure. Frost Nova Doomsayer. Ice Block. And do we wish to draw a card here? I think I actually want to draw a card with this right now. Because the face damage doesn't matter. So that's the second Ice Block, that's good. Also means... no, he's not going to have me overdraw, so that's fine. He'll be hard-pressed to deal with the Doomsayer right now, and I think even if he does, that will be in okay position, because we have both of our Ice Blocks. So unless he has... he could have Feral Rage, I guess, and that would be really awkward. We'll need a lot more time in that case. So he can basically do nothing this turn, and he can't deal enough damage for me to be worried about next turn, so that's also good. Ooh, he's killing that. That is probably okay, although he might break my block next turn. That means I just Alexstrasza right now, right? Alexstrasza for 13, and then he has to be worried about me killing him the turn after, although that's not that's not inevitable. Because I don't have the damage to kill him. In that case I could Frost Nova here. No, I just need to Alexstrasza right now, and then I can probably stall out long enough to win afterwards. I don't think Acolyte, Frost Nova, being the Acolyte is going to do a whole lot right now. Double Azure Drake is worrisome though. Can I just Flame Strike this? If I Flame Strike this, I do nothing though. Don't like that. I think it's Alexstrasza turn. He can't kill me, so... and even if he does bring me down low enough, I think I'm pretty close to Reno anyway. What do we need for a Reno? We've got our Blizzard, we've got our... oh, a Novice Engineer. I think it's just a Novice Engineer in that case. So how close are we? Well, if we draw a couple more cards, I think we can easily get to that point. So he'll have to be worried here. So he's trying to draw into his Feral Rage. We've got 13 damage in hand. So with any burn spell, he's dead. And if he doesn't trade into the Alexstrasza, he's definitely dead, and he knows it. So he's going to have to do that. And then develops an Ancient. Okay. Ooh, Uproot. Uproot or Riot. I guess I will Flame Strike this if I don't draw into lethal. He has 17. We've got... let me count that again. We have 13 in hand, so that is not good enough. We could go for the Blizzard instead. No, we shouldn't go for the Blizzard. So we can't kill him here. But the Flame Strike does look pretty good, so I think we'll go for that. And then just ping down the Ancients. That's still reasonable. We've got some time. I was a little scared that I'd pinged the 2/2 there. But that's not happening. He might get desperate enough to try Yogg, though. That's kind of troublesome. Yogg could really throw a rage here. I do have an ice block up, so unless he flares, that's not going to be too much of a problem.
Pay attention, class.
Floods the board again, that's fine. If we draw our Novice, then we can let him beat us down and then Reno afterwards. Or we just need a little bit of extra damage and then we'll also be able to kill him. Why does he... Oh, wait, okay. Yeah, I was a little confused there. So, do we go for Acolyte, Blizzard? Blizzard seems pretty good here. Sure. And I think we also... We can actually leave the mirror image for the Antonidas. That's probably a better idea, because I'm not too scared of the Acolyte dying right now. So this is still fine. He has 17, we have 13 burst in hand, so with even just... Well, actually, every time he hero powers, he's getting himself out of range, I guess. Antonidas would work... Well, not immediately, but... Yeah, so Roaring Torch would have been... Forgotten Torch would have been lethal here. If not for those meddling kids. Let's count it again just to be sure. We've got 13, we've got 17 damage, he's got 18 health. So that's not working. Do we Frost Nova? I guess we just draw a card and see if we have lethal over 2 turns, right? That's a pretty reasonable card. Although I don't like it right now, because it doesn't deal with the board. What else do we do though? I guess we've Forgotten Torch face or something. Do we actually? I kind of want a Frost Nova here, but if I just get a discount, he can burst me down through the thingamajig. Do we draw an additional card and just Emperor? We've got the Ice Block. I mean, it's pretty likely we kill him next turn, right? I think it's pretty likely we kill him next turn. So I don't think we should be that worried, unless he Yoggs, I guess. So if we get 1 extra Fireball, does that do it? We can Antonidas Frost Nova next turn. Antonidas Frost Nova Ice Block even. And Mirror Image. We have still got 17 damage over 6 mana. So Fireball top deck would... Oh, so... No, wait. I was going to say Antonidas does it, but Antonidas costs 6, so that's not gonna work. Let's see... I don't think he can pop the block and kill the Emperor, but I could be wrong here. Let's see, can he actually do that? He has 11... Oh, if he swipes that does work. Okay, so he breaks my block this turn, but that's okay. Soon as we draw the Novice Engineer, we can Reno up, but we don't really need the Reno. As long as we Ice Block, we're safe next turn, and then we easily draw into lethal, I think. Antonidas pretty much gives us lethal guaranteed, so... Not much to worry about. We should have this game in the bag, unless Yogg is really going to be nasty here. Is that lethal? We have 17 over 6 mana, I said, right? So that's 4 spells. 4 spells, so that's plus 4, that's 21 damage. That should do it. Alright. So I didn't even need the Archmage or the Ice Block here. Or the Reno, for that matter. We haven't even seen Reno active. I'm starting to doubt the effectiveness of Reno in this deck. But it does feel kind of safe to have it in your hand and be able to rely upon it as long as you just keep drawing cards. And drawing cards is something that the deck is very good against. So, yeah, that was Freeze Mage. So, hope you enjoyed this deck. Definitely worth a try as long as you can avoid the Cthulhu and the Control Warriors on the ladder. There's definitely some tricky matchups, but every one of them is winnable. Even Control Warrior is winnable as long as you just are a little lucky and the Control Warrior is a little unlucky. But let's not dwell on that too much, shall we? In each case, if you have any suggestions for what deck you would like to see me play next, please leave a comment below. And as always, have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow.